Okay, so today I'll be rotate the tire from rear to front on this Honda Civic 2010 EX, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do inside my car is to roll down both windows just in case. That will prevent me from lock my key in. And then I'm going to go find my owner manual. Okay. No, that's not it. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to locate my owner manual here, okay? Starting with the tire section on page 314 here, okay? Tire section. On here, what I'm looking for is really how do you rotate this tire, okay? So as I scroll through page 318 right there, okay, tire section, it tells you, here's a diagram for directional and non-directional, okay. I'm using a non-directional all-season tire, so I'm go from front to rear, and then the rear one cross, okay. If you use a directional tire, then it's just front to rear, rear to front. So I'll be using this, okay, and then continue on to let me see here, to changing flat tires, starting on page 328. Here, you know, is tell you how to change your tires in case you have a flat. You're looking at, it show you where all the lift point is at, where to put that jack, because a lot of people ask me, they don't know where to put it, so it's right there, and all you have to do is look in your owner manual, okay? It also show you, you know, how to put the jack underneath there. And this is what important that I'm looking for. Make sure the tire, the inside the tire right there, and where the stud area on your brake rotor, make sure those areas clean before you put the tire back on, okay? And then the other information I look at on the following page 330, is the torque right there. It say 80 foot-pound, okay? On here, it doesn't say anything about, you know, not to put any, like, anti-seize on the stud, okay? It doesn't say that on this Honda manual. Unlike Toyota, it specifically tell you not to do it. And that's it, okay? So all this information, you can find it in your Honda Civic owner manual. Okay, so I jot all the important information now. That way, you know, I remembered when I rotate this tire. So the way I do it is front down to the rear, and then crisscross 80 foot-pound, and make sure the tire hub is clean. Okay, before I put the tire back on. All right, let's go to the car and start this procedure. Okay, so anyway, here's the lock nuts right here. Basically, you put it on. I like to start this one first, because if you can't get it out, then there's no use for you to continue if you can't loosen this lock nuts. Okay, so you put a lock nuts in. I'm using the 4-way tire wrench here, right here, 19 millimeter. Okay, I put on here Civic, and this also go with the Odyssey 80 foot-pound. I painted yellow. On the other end, 76 foot-pound for my Prius. Okay, I even painted gray. So anyway, what you want to do, you want to put it in and just loosen it. Okay, after that you go through loosen all the lug nuts. I done it ahead of time, that's why it looks so easy. But basically, what you want to do, you want to lose it before you lift it up. Okay, now this thing worked good. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my car on jack stand and lift all 4 tires up. So before you lift up your car, make sure your parking brake is on, okay? Like so, okay? Make sure it's on before you lift up your car. Transmission should be in park. Key should be out of there, okay? Okay, then I lift it up, and I slide my jack stand where this metal frame is at, okay? Right there, and I slowly lower my jack like so. Okay, tire is still up in the air, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, on right side I'm doing the same thing and put it approximately right where that frame is at. Lift up as a lift point. You notice my jack have this rubber protecting thing. Same with my jack stand. You can get that at Harbor Freight for about under 10 bucks. Okay, this one here you have to order from eBay. So now I'm gonna, same thing as on the other side, I'm gonna slowly lower this down, and front tire both up in the air, so that's good. Now I gotta go do the rear one. Okay, for the rear one, I'm gonna lift it. In the rear, it have looked like a tow thing that, you know, people put on for towing purposes. I put my jacks right in there, lift it up into both tire off the ground, and next I'm going to do, I'm going to put the jack stand on that lift point. So I put my second jack stand on the lift point here. You notice my second jack stand, I also have this plastic protector. I just put it, you know, where the lift point is, you know, right on the center there. Now I'm going to go back here and slowly lower the jack down. There you go. Okay, it's both down. Both tires look like it's off the air. If not, you have to lift it up and move the jack to the next slot so you can take out the tire. Okay, it's like this one here, the one on the left, it looked like it touching the ground, so I have to lift it back up and put my jack stand a little higher. And there it is. Okay, jack stand on the second notch, both tires off the ground. What I do is I just I'm just gonna put the tension on this jack. That way, just in case it fell, you know, the jack gonna catch it, and it's also easy for me to you know, lift it up next time. I don't have to reset my jack. Okay, so now what you do is you're gonna take all this off because you already have it loosened. So I'm gonna take all the lug nuts out of there. Okay, I'm gonna do this on all four tires. Lock nuts and all four tire nuts is out. Lift your tire out, put it on the side like that because you're gonna rotate it. Now is a good time for you to inspect the shock, the bushing, make sure it's not cracked. Okay, brake is a big one. Make sure it have plenty of pad. If it get low, that's when you start buying, you know, start looking for a brake pad and sell to save you some money. Okay, so these are the things that you can check while your tire is off. So I'm going ahead and do it on all other three tires. So after inspection, I'm using this 303. I use this as a rubber loop. So basically, I put on brake line, you know, all the rubber you can see, like stabilizer link right there. Any rubber bushing that you see, okay? I just put on a spray bottle, you know. Do not try to not get on the roller, but all the rubber part, like this brake boots right here. Okay, any rubber part that you see, you know, give it a good loop. I mean, I do this personal preference, but you can use, I see people use Armor tire foam, okay, to protect the rubber. Okay, that's what I do when I get down here. This is on the rear brake. And then on the front, what I do, I'm doing the same thing, except this one here is have a, we call this velocity boots. Okay, and then also the power steering one right there. And then the one inside there too. Okay, so I spray control arm. I just give it a good loop, and of course your brake line and speed sensor, all the rubber parts that I'm able to see down here. That you know, I give it a good spray, and then after you've done that, now you rotate the tire. Okay, now This one here, on the manual it says it's clean. Last time I cleaned it, and I used this right here. I use fluid film. I put it on a rag and I wipe it. And this time I take it out, it looked very clean. So these are areas that you want to make sure is clean. So I'm going to do the same thing this time. I'm going to take this, spray on the rag, and put it on this and that right there. These areas here. Okay. That way it gives it the good rust protection. Okay, so last time I used this just to test it out, and I noticed after 6 months, the coat still on there is nice and dry, shining. Okay, so I just used this last 6 months to test out. Otherwise, I've been using anti-seize on here. Okay, on this here to prevent rust. So this stuff worked pretty good. Okay, so after you've done that, now what I'm going to do is the two front tire go straight to the rear, and then the rear crisscross to the front. Okay, so I'm going to go put my camera down and do all that. So when you put the tire back in, hand tight these nuts. Make sure you do it like you put this one on. Okay, don't tighten it all the way, tighten it halfway, and then crisscross it, this one, and then this one, just put it in by hand. And then after that, what you do is you just still doing the same thing. You crisscross them, okay? What I try to get is tight it evenly as possible, okay? Halfway, go halfway, go halfway, go halfway, go halfway. And then start this again, okay? Start that process until you can't tight anymore. So I just rotate the two front ones straight to the rear. The two rear one crisscross to the front. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rear one first, because the rear one have a parking brake. I can torque it while it's off when the tire is still in the air. Okay, and then I'm going to do these two last. So there it is. I just tied it down, torqued it down to 80 foot-pound. Okay, so you go crisscross like this, because this is the rear tire. The parking brake is on, so the parking brake hold the wheel steady for me to torque this. Okay, and I go ahead and do on the other side. So I just finished on the two rear one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift the car up, take out the jack stand on the rear, and remove the jack stand. Okay. Okay, lift the car all the way up. Remove the jack stand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this down like so. Okay, so now you got the two rear wheel is pretty much set. I'm going to go to the front one here. Okay, lift the car up. I'm going to take this jack stand out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load this thing halfway into the tire touch. Now I'm going to torque this down 80 foot-pound. Okay, after I torque it, now I'm going to release the jack so the tire fully sit on the ground. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a, I'm going to torque this again. Now you got a full vehicle weight. So just go ahead and torque this crisscross like so. Okay. Alright, now I go do the same thing on the other side. After I torque this side, now what I'm going to do is for safety measure, I'm going to walk around and re-torque all the tire one more time. And that's it. That's how you rotate the tire on this Honda Civic. Okay. Okay. After I did the final torque on all the tire. Don't forget to put the wheel lock back in the trunk. Okay. Okay. So I just took this car out for a test drive. I picked up my two kids from school, which is around 35-mile highway and city. It's running really smooth. I don't feel no vibration. So a lot of time, after you rotate the tire, if you feel a vibration, usually on your steering wheel when you drive on the highway, it's kind of like shaking and stuff like that. After you rotate the tire, usually the two front one need to be rebalanced. Okay. Other than that, this will work out great. And that's all I got for this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.